in school, I was one of them type of guys that I really didn't like. I didn't like bullies.
Right.
You know, I grew up from a pretty decent home. You know, my mom, you know, even though she had me at a young age, about 15 years old, she did, she did the best. I mean, with what she was handed. But coming up in with a stepfather, he did what all that he thought he could do, but we didn't have that father figure there. Right. So it led to seeking attention outside the home. I got caught in the gang violence, but what led up to that is, let me go back a little bit, was the fact that growing up I didn't like bullies. And so I was one of them type of guys that in a classroom, if I felt somebody was being bullied, I would speak up I would take up for that person, whether it was a girl or a guy. I would, speak up for that person or defend that person. And so around 85, 86, in our area, gangs was becoming popular. So I took a liking to, I like going against the odds. So at the school I grew up from, it was majority a certain gang. Majority of the people there was like a part of a street gang, right. A certain color. I didn't like that, so I was one of the few guys who went with the opposite color. I went with the opposite color to combat that, and it led into more violent things, me getting in trouble and getting involved in the streets and stuff like that. At the same time, I was still playing sports. I was still playing basketball. I was known for being in the newspapers, one of the best in the area. But at nighttime, I would go out with some of my buddies at the time and gangbang. Gangbang.
That's very interesting, though.
Yeah.
The motivations are very interesting because that's not a kind of motivation most people would expect.
No.
To be like, hey, I'm just trying to kind of fight for the underdogs or whatever kind of idea it might be.
Well, it was a little bit more to it. Yeah, that too.
Obviously, but it's interesting that that's a part of it, and it's interesting you kind of just to flesh that out a little bit because, that's something that a lot of people wouldn't expect. Right.
Especially, and it was a time where it's coming up in my household. It wasn't really necessary because, like I said, my mom, we came from we wasn't a poor family, but we definitely wasn't rich. But, it was just, you wanted to respect, you wanted to, to be noticed. You wanted to, it's just one of them things, and when you're coming up in those communities like that, you want your respect. You don't want nobody to mess with you or your family or whatever. So you just come up just doing stuff stupid, really ignorant, really no reason. Some of us didn't have a reason. I was one of the few that probably didn't even have a reason to be gang banging. It was just a choice I made. It was just, I didn't even really have a reason.
So did you have any other better choices put in front of you?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I was,
So what kind of derails that there? What makes you, because I mean, obviously, like you said, it was a choice you made, but what kind of derails where, you have better options, you're doing great in sports, you're doing great, you have another possibility your life could go. What makes you choose?
For me, and of course I had other friends and partners or whatever that had other reasons. For me, it's just simply because I just wanted to be respected. I just wanted to be, I guess in a sense, I wanted to have that respect on him, but at the same time I wanted to instill fear in people.
Right, but you wanted the respect for the people in your neighborhood.
In my neighborhood. Yeah,
right. Because you would have got you still would have got respect, obviously.
Yeah, I would have got respect.
If you became famous.
And also too, where I come up from, that's how you were known. That's man, he's a shooter, or he's a fighter, or he's a killer, whatever. So you kind of wanted that, you wanted that image on you. You wanted to be known for that. So that was my reasoning. Did I have to? Absolutely not. But I was in that environment. I did come up living around there where shootings was taking place, robberies was taking place, drugs was, But for as me, I just wanted to be known. I wanted to be known where, You know,
So you think it's a lot of the culture of the community around you that kind of
that's
pushes
exactly
you?
what it is. A lot, you know, it maybe so a little bit it's a little bit different now as it was back then. You know, I think it's a little bit more harder now than it was back then. But yeah, it was a lot. We just because we didn't have nothing else to do. You know, we.
Listen, guys, we are doing great things here at the Lamplight Productions, and you can be a part of it for the low price of $0.00. Because all you gotta do is subscribe, ring the bell, ding dong. You can't go wrong, or don't. It's a free country. Do whatever you want. Though I don't know how you can live with yourself.